Hey coin collectors and welcome to the DC Coin World International Coin Channel. Here's some 1986 quarters. This is one from each mint. There's a San Francisco Mint one here, the Denver Mint one here, and the Philadelphia Mint one here. And you'll notice by 1986, all the quarters had mint marks on them, including Philadelphia with the P. They made 1 billion quarters in 1986, half a billion at Philly, half a billion at Denver, and about 3 million at San Francisco because San Francisco Mint only made the proof coins. And you can tell that's a proof coin there with that shine. Just a beautiful coin. And you can also tell this is a deep cameo proof, one of those coins where the buffing on the letters in the images is different than the buffing on the back. And you can see the buffing on the back, kind of really shiny surface. This is called the deep cameo proof because this part that sticks up is called the cameo. You don't and can't get that in the other coins because they don't mint them and they don't polish them the same way. But you can get some pretty expensive coins from Philadelphia and Denver and some good looking ones. What you look for is signs of wear. And the signs of wear on the front will be on Washington's cheek, where it would get worn off a little bit and sometimes even discolored. There will be hair around his ear, and you can see this one does not have much wear there either. So the cheek and the ear look really good on this coin. You can see the strands of hair going down the back of his ponytail, let's call it. It says Liberty at the top, In God We Trust here, 1986. You also look for any kind of areas where it might be a little dull. In a coin like this, it's hard to tell the dull areas because it gets a little bit of patina on it as it gets older. What you do is you just tip it up and tip it back and forth a little bit and see if there's any areas on here that just don't have any much of a shine. And when you do that, you can see that there's some wear up there. See how it's just a little bit differently colored up there? So that's a wear spot that you don't always see, but we do see that on this coin. So that'll bring the value of it down. And you can see there's the P there for Philadelphia. These are not the filled P's, just the general P's. And when you get on the back, what you do is you look for the feathers going down the chest and down the legs. And this one is spectacular in that way. You look for this little cowlet coming off the back. You look for a beak line, which is incredibly hard to see in a 1986. United States of America, pluribus unum. The eagle's holding arrows, and the eagle's tail comes down below, and that's another area. And you can see this eagle's tail touches on two of the petals from the olive wreath. There's an X across the middle underneath the eagle's claws, and that's a ribbon that's holding this sheaf of arrows together. And then down at the bottom it says $quarter. In 1986, all of the coins were a copper nickel covering over a copper, 100% copper center. No silver quarters in 1986. At Philadelphia, the most expensive quarter is a Mint State 67 Plus, and that's worth about $3,000. A Mint State 65 is worth about $20, and that's what this one probably is, pretty close to a Mint State 65. We generally like to handle and move our coins around so that we can show everything on the videos, but it would not be worth getting this coin graded if it's worth, at best, $20 because it costs more than $20 to grade it. Now what about the Denver Mint coin? We'll do the same thing on this one, and you'll see that the Denver Mint coin has the scratches, the wear marks. Even on the cheek you can see that little bit of wear there. And then if we go up a little bit and tip it, we see that it doesn't have great hair above the ear either. There's a worn spot there. So this won't be close to a Mint State 65. You see the D there for the Denver Mint. If you want a really expensive Denver one, you can get one that's up to a Mint State 67 Plus, and that'll go for $3,750. A Mint State 65 from Denver, $12, because they made quite a few of those. That means this coin here is probably worth maybe $1 or $2, but let's look at the feathers on the back. And when we do look at the feathers on the back, we see that it's a little bit more worn on the legs and a little tiny bit more worn on the chest. No chance of seeing a beak line on this one. So this might be a mint state 62 or 63, at which point we're just talking about a few dollars. If you want a really, really good looking coin, you can get this San Francisco Mint coin. They're not highly expensive. They made 3 million at the San Francisco Mint, but they made almost all of them really well. And so you can get this incredibly good San Francisco Mint coin here. This is probably a proof 69 or proof 68. And you can get it for $5 in this kind of shape. You tip it up on its side and you see that this is shiny, but still copper nickel clad outside, copper, fully copper inside coin. And when you look at the back of this one, you can see incredible detail. Still not a great beak line, but you can see one, and the cowlick there. And you can also see that this is a deep cameo on the back also, where this eagle just pops right off the coin. And when you do the light back and forth, you can see the eagle just changing color and actually moving a little bit, it almost looks like. So if you're looking for these coins, the best 1986 S proof coin goes for $34. So if you want to get the best coin ever made from a certain mint, this is the good year to get it, because you can get one for $34, $35, sometimes including shipping. All right, so the big value is going to be in the Philadelphia and the Denver mints, but the best looking coins are clearly going to be from the San Francisco Mint right here. All right, thanks for watching DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel and leave any comments you have in the comment section.